The Rock destroys Cody Rhodes in a violent Raw ending. We have an update on CM Punk and his WrestleMania 40 role, which might have been revealed on last night's Raw. And we also have an update on a WWE star who was pulled from last night's episode of Raw. Find out who that was in this video. So Cody Rhodes was in the ring last night cutting a wonderful promo. He's going to be a best man at Anthony's wedding and paid for the bachelor party and all that sort of stuff. He's going to birthday parties because he's Cody Rhodes. He has to pretend to be the champion because the champion's never there. It was a wonderful Cody promo once again, but he's interrupted by a shoot appearance by God himself. That's what he looked like walking down the aisle, I thought.
He
The
did
Rock.
a little bit. Yes, The Rock comes down to the ring, he gets in the ring, and he whispers something it seems to throw Cody off a little bit with whatever he says. He whispers it, and then he leaves, and we don't see him again until the end of Raw, and the end of Raw was something spectacular, I thought.
It was. If they made it rain in Chicago for this segment, right, it was the perfect call.
Oh my
If
God.
it was raining anyway, it was a wonderful coincidence because the Rock drags, he beats Cody Rhodes down through the backstage area, he's sent through guardrails and trash cans and used or whatever. Then he drags him out into the car park where Cody's big buses.
Big vodka buses.
You can definitely tell it's Cody's because logo is everywhere, and he's just the Rock's throwing Cody into the bus countless times. He's beating him down in the rain. Mama Rhodes gets mentioned. Look at your boy. Look at your boy. Cody's bleeding. The Rock's swearing like a trooper.
He takes the belt off as well. That says Mama Rhodes on it. Smears Cody's blood all over it. He's like, I will hand this to you.
Saucy.
It was so good.
Yeah, he's calling the people of Chicago pieces of you know what. He's the final line of the promo was absolutely fantastic, where he's like, he's talking about obviously Dusty Rhodes and hard times and all that sort of stuff. He doesn't know about hard times, but you're going to learn about hard times, The Rock is saying to Cody Rhodes, and he ends it because this is what happens when you F with the final boss.
Yeah.
Ba-boom!
Ba-boom,
He didn't say
indeed.
ba-boom. That was just a little accoutrement from me, but you know what I mean. It was fantastic.
It was so good, and I think this is the perfect way to ramp everything up towards WrestleMania. Because Cody sort of mentioned it, right? And he was like, we're in the awkward period now where it's like 2 weeks before WrestleMania. What do we kind of do to sort of spice things up and get things like really heading full momentum into WrestleMania? And I thought this was it, because not that I dislike what The Rock's been doing with his promos and stuff. I think they've been good, but he tends to repeat himself quite a bit. However, I think this was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Rather than words, maybe just like get in there with the actions, and that's exactly what he did.
It did just feel like no more bollocks is needed. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty.
Yes.
And seeing Cody Rhodes bleeding his own blood in a car park while covered in rain, it made me want to see Cody spaff all over The Rock at Philadelphia WrestleMania. Oh, right in his eye. Of course, the Rhodes family got involved on social media after last night's Raw ended. Brody posted on the X.com, he better keep his security detail tight at Mania, that's all. And Dustin Rhodes wrote, you son of a bitch.
Wow. Do you think there's even a chance that perhaps Dustin turns up at WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
You reckon so?
That's the second time he's interacted with stuff going on Raw.
I think so as well.
He's a WWE legend. I know he's elsewhere, but he's a legend.
It would be
of the
very
game.
cool. It would be very cool if they managed to do that.
Also, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Why not?
That as well. Yes, please. Absolutely. Agreed.
Elsewhere on last night's Raw, there was one hell of another promo segment between Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Wrestling is back, because this it felt like bullet points, and they just had to fit it within those bullet points and also just try and take each other down one by one. CM Punk's role, though, has been revealed for WrestleMania. What's he going to do?
Yeah, so he's going to actually be on the commentary desk. Now, he appeared last night at the Allstate Arena, obviously, to address the crowd in Chicago and talked about, we're talking about the people that were talking about him, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. By the way, Drew McIntyre, before Raw, went to Mindy's Bakery, which was very nice.
He didn't look at Google, did he?
Didn't look at Google, but he played it off very well. It was very, very good.
It's closed on a Monday and Tuesday, apparently, so he went all that way in a CM Punk t-shirt with it crossed out.
DM Hunk.
DM Hunk written on it,
had DM Hunk on it. Anyway, so during his promo, Punk addressed Roman Reigns' comments on Pat McAfee's show about him. Punk said he's not a listener of Pat's show, though, as he only listens to The Experience and The Drive-Thru, which are Jim Cornette's podcasts. Punk hinted at a future match with Roman Reigns, saying as he was climbing the mountain and Roman was on his way down, they would meet sooner rather than later. That was a nice little tantalizing bit there. Drew appeared and antagonized Punk, but refused to get in the ring, and Drew said that he would prove at WrestleMania that he is the chosen one, to which Punk was like, who chose you? What was his name? What paragon of good virtue chose you? And I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
Like you said, wrestling's back.
It is back. I bet everyone backstage was chortling with that line.
Doing one of them. Drew suggested that Punk should be the commentator for the world title match at WrestleMania 40, which brought out Seth Rollins. Now, when he asked the fans if Punk should do commentary, the crowd actually instead started chanting referee, which was great. And then catch the wrestlers off guard a little bit. Seth's like, I don't know if you know, but that's his counting arm, and then Punk gets on the floor and does the count.
It was a wonderful like rhythm to his count with his weak arm.
Oh, it was very, very yeah. He's been practicing, but that, like you said, it felt very not necessarily scripted, and you could see that Seth and Drew were kind of laughing at that as well. Like, oh, he's got us there. He's bloody well got us there.
Yeah, but then CM Punk basically just says, I'll be on the call and try and do the thing that's not been possible since I've been gone for 10 years from the company. I'll try and make Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins interesting.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a bit harsh, but there we go.
Me too. It was very, very good. Punk downplayed the referee stuff as well by saying, I couldn't be objectively fair with these two dip SHITs in the ring. Which also, again, I thought we weren't allowed to only select people were allowed to swear.
I think The Rock's opened the floodgates here.
I think he might have
What's good
done.
for The Rock is good for the Randa.
Yes.
That made no sense, you know what I'm saying?
I know
The
what
goose
you mean,
and the
though.
gander, The Rock and the Randa, obviously.
I know necessarily you don't need to keep going onto exploitatives to make a point, but again, with everything that feels really real in these feuds at the moment between the Bloodline and Cody, and also like the Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk stuff, it just fits the bill really well.
Yeah, it's when tensions are high, people swear. That just happens in real life, isn't it? So the fact it's allowed to happen on the shows, I think, is really adding to these upper, like, main, title match feuds.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It was very, very good. Anyway, CM Punk, he has his last word, walks out. Drew's like, you don't get the last word. You're not in this match. And then Seth kicks him in the head.
He starts he starts mentioning Stan Eminem, doesn't he?
He did. A very good one.
CM Punk is Drew McIntyre's Stan, but then in the middle of that, Seth Rollins kicks him in the head, and this ends to a fantastic segment. I think they know they did well with those two segments because I saw they've both been uploaded as the full things. On the YouTube. So there's bits of Raw to watch last night. Those two bits are the bits to watch. They were fantastic. Meek Mill was invited to WrestleMania a couple of days ago by Triple H on the Instagram, and it looks like it could be happening there, Andrew.
Yeah, so an ad for Mania featuring Meek Mill aired during Raw last night, and then Meek reposted it himself, hinting at making an appearance and actually performing his hit Dreams and Nightmares. Meek Mill was nominated for Best Rap Album Championship in 2019 and Back of My Mind in 2021. He's not necessarily someone I'm very familiar with, but I feel like the crowd in Philadelphia will go absolutely bananas for him.
Philadelphia's own WWE's favourite rapper in the world ever.
There you go.
Meek Mill. Get Tony Chimmel back just to say that one. And also, finally, we end on a bit of a sad... Well, is it? I don't know. We had a star pulled from last night's Raw. Ahead of last night's Raw, it was announced by Adam Pearce on the social medias over the weekend that Andrade will be taking on Ivar of the Viking... Well, I don't know if he is still the Viking Raiders. I guess they
will be when they come back
Eric
together.
comes back,
yeah.
Ivar doesn't need Eric, though, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Valerie Haller. But that match was changed, wasn't it, Andrew?
Yes, it was. So instead, Andrade ended up facing Imperium's Giovanni Vinci instead in a really, really good match as well. I wasn't necessarily sad about the change, just hoping that Ivar's all right. However, Fightful reports we've asked about Ivar's status, and we're told that he's fine and is expecting to be back in the ring in quick fashion. We weren't told specifically, what is keeping him out of the ring right now. I'll get there eventually. I hope he's all right. He seems to be all right, which is good. Back in the ring soon. He's been doing great stuff. It was really nice. I would have liked to have seen Andrade and Ivar, actually.
Oh, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it eventually.
That's one of the bastions of the Meat Planet division, I have to tell you, Andrew. Old Ivar, a fantastic division, and all great stand-up guys.
Yes,
I don't know what I'm saying now. Anyway, over the weekend, we published a list, so we did, called 10 wrestlers who got to wrestle their heroes. I think Johnny T. Cena and Hulk Hogan in the thumbnail, so there's a little teaser of what you might find out about in that list. Other videos have been published over the last forever, so watch those as well. Anything to plug there, Andrew?
Yes, there's a Tom piece to camera going out tonight about Jack Perry and how things that transpired within AEW have seemingly led to this giant tag match at WrestleMania 40.
He is the tip of the iceberg, isn't he?
When
or is he the bottom of
I guess maybe the bottom
roots
of
of the tree,
yes,
or
to grow up. So to grow up, that was a weird say there. But yes, no, Tom has really gone into the weeds of that. So check it out. It's really fascinating and really, really good deep dive and everything that sort of happened leading up to this big tag match. So check that out too.
Yes, thank you for watching this news video 1. Come back later for news video 2. I've been Ross, joined by Andrew, and we'll see you very soon.